Sometimes I wonder if my parents ever really knew me. Not the version of me that got good grades and stayed out of trouble, not the version that smiled when relatives come over. I mean me, the kid who wanted someone to ask, "What's wrong?" before I had to pretend nothing was. People always ask if I love my parents, and I do. That's what makes it so confusing. Because love can exist without closeness. You can live in the same house as someone for years and still feel like strangers sharing an address. I don't have some dramatic story where there are constant screaming or violence. Sometimes I think that makes it harder to explain. From the outside, everything looks normal. We ate dinner together sometimes, they paid the bills, they made sure I had a roof over my head. But emotionally, it felt like I grew up alone. There are memories that should exist, but they don't. I don't remember sitting down and talking about my fears. I don't remember feeling safe enough to cry in front of them. I don't remember being excited to tell them about my day because I already knew the conversation would end in a few sentences. Eventually, I stopped trying. I think people underestimate what emotional distance does to a child. You stop asking for comfort because you expect silence. You stop sharing achievements because you've already prepared for an indifferent "that's good." You stop expressing emotion because somewhere along the way you learned they were inconvenient. So you become manageable, quiet, independent. Everyone compliments you for being so mature. What they don't realize is that maturity was just loneliness wearing a suit. I don't actually know what a healthy relationship with parents is supposed to feel like. When my friends casually call their mom just to talk, it surprises me. When someone says, "My dad is my best friend," I honestly don't know how to process it. People tell stories about staying up late talking with their parents, asking them for advice, hugging them after a hard day, laughing until midnight, and I just sit there wondering if that's something people actually experience, or if it was something that happens in movies. Sometimes I feel like I missed a class everyone else got to attend. Everyone seemed to know how to be close to their parents except me. I don't know what that feels like because there was never anything built between us. There should have been something that teaches you that the world is safe, something that tells you your feelings matter, something that makes home feel like the one place you don't have to earn your place. But I don't think that ever formed. It's strange to grieve something you've never had. How do you miss memories that don't exist? How do you mourn conversations that was never spoken? How do you ache for hugs you can't remember receiving? I think about that a lot. Sometimes I imagine what life would have been like if home had been warm. If someone had noticed I was quieter than usual. If someone had knocked on my door just because they wanted to know how I was doing. If mistakes were met with patience instead of disappointment. If I didn't have to rehearse every sentence before speaking because I was afraid of saying the wrong thing. I wonder who I would have become. Maybe I would have been more confident. Maybe I wouldn't apologize for existing. I wouldn't assume people secretly get tired of me. Maybe I would have believed I was worth listening to without having to prove myself first. Instead, I grew up always on guard, even at home, especially at home. People think being on guard means expecting someone to yell. Sometimes it's quieter than that. It's wondering what mood everyone is before you even leave the room. It's listening carefully to footsteps so you know whether today is a good day or a bad one. It's measuring every word because you're trying not to make the atmosphere worse. It's treating your own house like you're a guest who doesn't want to overstay. You never fully relax. Your body learns that peace can disappear at any moment. And then one day you leave home, but your nervous system doesn't. Now I overthink everything. When someone sounds slightly different over a text, I assume I did something wrong. When people are quiet, I start searching for reasons. When someone genuinely cares about me, part of me doesn't trust it because I'm still waiting for the distance to come back. It's like my childhood. keeps introducing itself to every new relationship. The hardest part is that my parents don't even know. I don't think they wake up every morning thinking, let's make our child feel alone. I think they had their own wounds, their own stress, their own parents who probably never taught them how to be emotionally present. Maybe they gave me everything they knew how to give me, but that doesn't erase what I didn't receive. Both things can be true. They tried, and I still feel alone. I wish people understood that children don't just need food, clothes, and a place to sleep. They need to feel like someone is curious about who they're becoming, to know that their emotions don't have to compete for attention, to believe that home is where they can put their guard down. I never really had that. So now, whenever someone asks me what I want most in life, my answer isn't money or success. I think I just want to know what it feels like to walk into a room and not instinctively wonder if I belong here. I want to know what it's like to speak without rehearsing, to cry without apologizing, to exist without feeling like I'm taking up too much space. Maybe that's a warm home teaches you. Not that life will hurt you, but when it does, you don't have to carry it alone. I don't know what that version of childhood feels like, but I still catch myself imagining it. Not because I can go back and have it, just because some part of me still misses being a kid. Wondering what it would be like if someone had looked at me and said, you don't have to be okay all the time. I'm here. I think that's all I've ever wanted.